Just dialing in some stuff right now. Oh, we got a bunch of people already on here leaving comments. How's everybody doing? Holy cow. Dakota Joes is here. Andy K is here. Jason C. Addicted to Fishing. Tim H. Man, Ben Alexander, BMK. All over the place. You guys are great. Thanks for being here early, man. Everybody, let me get this dialed in. How's that look? Not bad. All right. John Kepich, Randy Radloff. How's Wisconsin doing, Randy? You guys all good over there? Mark Pearson, there's a name I've seen for a long time. I gotta get this figured out where I hate looking over at this and looking back at the camera, but it's kind of the way I gotta do this. It's the best way, I think, for right now. Mike Fairchild. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Up in Canada. Amanda Q, good evening back to you. Matt Presidents, good evening back to you, Matt. Good to see you, buddy. Matt's the guy that did up all these custom everything packages. It's not just Dreamweaver. It's everything. If you haven't seen these yet, check out what he's done. Look at the past videos. Matt has done an amazing job. We're gonna give that one away tonight. Steve, the Pure Magician, the Pure Michigan Man. Man, that's a heck of a title, Steve. How'd you get that title, man? Go to Joe. Good to see you, Joe. Always good to see you. Greg Kirby checking in from Maine. Welcome to the show, Greg. Good to see you. Barry Akavaria, New Hampshire. Good to see you, Barry. Alaska, CF from Alaska. Man, people all over the place. Got thumbs up coming in. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. I always say those thumbs up really do help the channel. It goes into the algorithm for YouTube. The more thumbs up the channel gets, the more the videos get pushed out into like suggested videos, things like that. So I really do appreciate that. Ray Castillo, first time subber from Ludington. Hey, good to see you, man. Ludington's a great port. Love Ludington. Love Ludington Offshore Classic. Probably, oh man, it's close to being my favorite tournament for sure. I love that tournament. It's so much fun. I just noticed a dollar bill in a frame behind me. That's probably all the shop has ever made is a dollar. Chris Dombrowski. Hey, Chris, your wife did a great job. Chris Dombrowski's wife got a hold of me, a few weeks ago and wanted to do something for his birthday. She bought him a full day gift certificate out on the charter for August. So I'll be taking him out fishing in August, and I'm looking forward to that also. Yeah, your wife rocked, man. She did a great job. Look at all the thumbs up. Mark Pearson, Chris Crope, I'm sorry if I'm saying that right. Scott Argetsinger is here. Scott loves being here, and I love it when he's here. If you, all of you out there don't know who Scott Argetsinger is, Scott is the general manager at Dreamweaver, and he's also a great fisherman. So if you got any questions regarding Dreamweaver, or really just want to bounce ideas off Scott, a lot of times I can't see the comments, I'm talking or whatnot, I'm always talking. Scott is here as my backup, and always good to have him here, so use him. I mean, you got questions for Dreamweaver, you got things you want to know, hey, use him. That's what he's here for. David LaPointe just sent me a super chat for $2. Dave, thanks, buddy. I do appreciate that. You're a good guy. Dave LaPointe Jr., I'm sorry. I know I met your dad. I don't know if I've ever met you, Dave. I might have down at the marina. Thanks, though, for doing that. More Canadians checking in. Hector Prevost. Leroy Dowding. Leroy is also here most Sundays. If you don't know who Leroy is, Leroy and Deb Dowding own and operate Purple Taco Fly Supply right here in Michigan as well. If you got any questions regarding Purple Taco Fly Supply or what they're doing, hey, Lee is a great asset to have on this channel. So with Scott here and Leroy here, man, I'm covered by good people. And with everybody else here too, I'm covered by real good people. So thank you. All right, so let's get through some of the things that we need to get through before. We're going to change up the way we do some of these live videos. I think you all probably noticed the title's different. I do want to get more into, I just noticed, I'm wearing my Spider-Man shirt tonight, and I'm noticing the paint stains on it. Dude, I'm a Spider-Man fan since I was a little kid. Best Avenger there is. I'm not like a super Avenger geek or anything like that. stand in line for hours when the Avengers came out, or or Star Wars or anything like that. But man, I am a Spider-Man fan. Like I said, always have been. So I'm rocking my Spidey shirt tonight. But yeah, I'm noticing right now I can see paint stains all over it. So hey, it is what it is. All right, but I'm sure many of you noticed that the title of the video changed tonight, because I do want to get into more specialized things as we do these live videos. I think it's important. I think there's really good information that we get out with myself being here, Scott here, and Leroy here, and all of you great people being here. We can really cover a lot of good information. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. So with that being said, there's something I do got to say about the live videos, and I think this is going to be a benefit to everyone. Starting in May, I'm going to move the live video broadcast to the live video stream to Thursday nights at 7 o'clock, because my thought process is most of you are going out fishing on the weekends. Most of you are getting ready, trying to get all the information for your weekend trips. I think that's a better time through the summer months to give you that information, rather than being Sunday night where, hey, I just got home from fishing and now I'm getting a fishing report, where Thursday night it'll give you the information that you need going into that weekend. So let me know what you think on that idea. I think it's a better way to do it. Like I said, for the summer months, we'll still do it right at 7 o'clock on Thursdays. And just get that information out there a little bit better to you. All right. So yeah, we're getting a lot of good feedback on that. Yeah, I think it's a good idea also. And then come the winter months, we can change it back to Sundays when it's a little more low key. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I thought so too, everyone. I thought that was a great idea. Just get that information out. But yeah, in the winter months, we can move it back to Sunday nights. We can just hang out on Sundays, just talk other things, but whatnot. When it's a little slower out on Lake Michigan, and but yeah, I think that'll work out well. So, a couple other things. Hey, Jim Dombrowski, good to see you, buddy. Gary Davey likes it as well. Jeff Abbott likes it. Will Spencer likes it as well. Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the feedback. A couple other things I want to throw out there. Canada. A lot of people were asking if the Tangle Tackle website will ever be shipping to Canada. The door's open. We're shipping to Canada now. So if you are in Canada and you want to shop on the Tangle Tackle website, we're going to ship to you. We got a lot of ducks more in a row now. Man, I tell you what, running a shop on a website, it's crazy what I've watched around here, just the chaos of it. But it's a good chaos. It's a good learning curve, and it's really been exciting. It's been a lot of fun, to be honest with you, to be involved in all this and watching this thing. It's only a month old, and it's definitely just roller coasting like crazy right now. But yeah, Canada, the door's open. If you want to buy from us now at tangledtacklecompany.com, we are now shipping to Canada. All right. Another thing. So I think most of you understand this, but there's a lot of people that watch these live videos after they post, and I get tons of emails. Hey, how do I watch the live video? I can't watch the stream. How do I do that? So you got to be subscribed to the channel. I think most of us understand that. And the best thing to do is to click that bell. And I'm not asking you to do that. If you don't want to do it, hey, I get it. I'm not begging for that in any way. But that is the only way really you can watch these live streams, is by subbing to the channel. And if you hit the bell, it'll give you a notification. So that's the easiest way. And if you sub to us, if you watch our community page on our channel, you're going to notice that early in the week, I'm going to be putting out the topics for the upcoming live streams. So like the one I got coming up next Sunday, I'll give you a little preview on that right now. I got a gentleman coming in from Pouchki. Well, I hope I'm saying that right. I've heard people call it Pouchki, Pouch. I think it's Potski, actually, Potski. We got a pro staffer coming in from Potski. He's going to come in next Sunday. We're going to sit down. He's a local guide. We're going to sit down here on this channel. We're going to go over how to cure your eggs, how to cure your spawn, how to tie up spawn bags. A lot of great information. So that's going to be coming next Sunday. But again, I'm going to put that on the community page. And you can always know what's coming up for that week's video, or multiple videos, by watching that community page. So, and that's a great place to give me feedback too. It's a great place. If there's something you want covered in a video, like for instance, you see I'm doing the curing for next week. If there's something about that you want covered, yeah, absolutely. Leave it down there in the comments, and then I'll know. I'll try to get that into the video. Potchkis are tasty. Yeah, they are. All right. Where are we going next? Don't forget, the TangledTackleCompany.com website, like you guys know this, it's up and going, but don't forget, sign up for that membership on the front page because you're going to get amazing deals coming up soon. And we got a lot of things in the works. We just had a meeting last Friday with the store owner and the web designer, and we got a lot of great ideas coming up. So if you have not signed up for that membership, make sure you do. Just like a week and a half ago when we did the Dreamweaver sale on the Spin Doctors, all the members, and it doesn't cost a thing to be a member. You just put your email in there, you're done. We were doing 25% off the Spin Doctors there for 3 days. So that just gives you an example of what you're going to get if you sign up for a membership. So it's just a great thing to do. Hey, and if you want to do it on my website, you're welcome also. I do put out information from time to time on my website and other sales, and that's darkbluecharters.com. You're welcome to sign up there as well, and you'll be extra covered. All right, so I noticed on last week's live stream, this is all thanks to all of you out there. I'm looking at all the names on here. So many good people I see on here. Man, that last video last week already had over 250 thumbs up on it. When I looked at it today, and that just blew my mind. 250 thumbs up. I think that's the most I've ever gotten in like a week's time on a video. So I wanted to say thanks for that. First off, thank you very much for doing that. And I think all the thumbs up that on this during the live stream count towards that. So all of those that I'm seeing here, thank you for that. But what do you think? Do you think we should try for 400 on this video? I think that's a doable number. So if you don't mind, I would love to see this video hit 400 thumbs up by the time I release the next week's video. So if you haven't hit it yet, hit the thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Like I said, it does help. And there they go. James Clancy, Jason Everett, Jeremy Weber all jumping on right like that. That's outstanding. Thanks, guys. Chris Olson. Yeah, hit him up, guy. Thanks, guys. That's outstanding. Thank you. You guys are the best. All right. So, the giveaway from last week. Let's do that right now. Thank you so much. Share the videos too, guys. That's a huge thing. That's a huge thing. Share the videos if you get a chance. Cool. Thank you. Anyway. The giveaway from last week, all the fishing gear plus the 20 bucks out of my pocket for gas money. We're going to give that, somebody nailed the number. Actually, quite a few people nailed the number from last week. But one person nailed it like within, I think, only 40 minutes after I did the video. The number was 117. The person that nailed that was Matthew Trowbridge. So Matt Trowbridge, you nailed it. I think 3 or 4 other people nailed the number after you did, but I had to go with the first person. That's Matt Trowbridge. So, God, look at all the thumbs up coming in. Thanks, everybody. Matt Trowbridge, you're the winner. If you can send me your address through my email, christangledtackle@gmail.com, I will get you this package sent out to you. And congratulations on that. Well done. There's a lot of really good stuff in that package for spring fishing and really all year fishing. So if you didn't watch that video from last week we went over spring tactics for brown, salmon, steelhead, lake trout, things like that. All of these lures pertain to that. If you haven't watched that yet, jump on to last week's video, and there was a lot of good information I think that came out there. So yeah, and that's from Matt Presence. Don't forget that all is really from Matt Presence, great supporter of the channel, super good guy. All right, what else we got? Talk to Leroy Dowding. When did I talk to you, Lee? Was it this morning or yesterday? My days blend together. They really do. But talk to Leroy Dowding from Purple Taco. One really cool thing that he mentioned to me that they're coming out with soon are UV clear beads. And I get a lot of questions on that about UV clear beads. They're hard to find. They are super, super hard to find. But according to Lee, they're going to have those out soon, available through Purple Taco. And Lee, if I'm wrong on any of this, please correct me. Maybe I wasn't supposed to even release that. Maybe I don't know. Can't remember. Sorry if I did, and I wasn't supposed to. But yeah, they're going to have UV clear beads soon on their website. I think he was talking about 8mm and 10mm in those packages. So that's a cool thing. A lot of people love those UV clear beads. I don't fish them myself, but I know people that do, and they do work very well. Steve Ordway, good to see you, buddy. Cat's out of the bag now. Yeah, Jeremy, you're absolutely right. It's out of the bag. They can't go back now, can they? No turning back, Leroy. You gotta find some UV clear beads to put out now. Cliff French wants to get the 2 new Dreamweaver spoons. Cliff, I think we are already out of stock. I think all of you maniacs, hold on, I'll look. Yeah, so the new Dreamweaver carbon spoon is gone. The A-bomb, the new Dreamweaver A-bomb, that's not yet on the website. The owner has to get that loaded up, but I'm sure as soon as he does, that thing's going to get wiped out also. But yeah, we are the first shop to have those new spoons from Dreamweaver, which was really exciting for us, really exciting. Hopefully we'll get more in soon, but I know Dreamweaver is getting hit. I know those guys are just running hard right now. Scott, I know you guys are, and I appreciate everything that you're doing down there, but man, I know you ravenous people out there, you just gobble that stuff. When you see good stuff, you know it, right? I mean, that's good stuff. So, you know me, I'm a Dreamweaver guy through and through, and I'm excited, really excited to try those new spoons out this year. All right, where are we moving on to next? Let's do the, how far are we in here? We're 16 minutes in already, holy cow. How many? I got 100, almost 170 people here. That's outstanding. Thanks, guys. Will Spencer, they were gone in a half hour. Yeah, that's pretty close to that, Will. Let's do the fishing report, and then we'll get into the optimizing the 6-rod spread information that I want to give you. Fishing report around here, let's start with the river. It's been pretty slow. I talked to a captain today that's been out almost probably, well, I know he's been out about every day, and it's slow out there. 2 to 3 bites a day. The steelhead just aren't showing up. And we had a discussion on that today on what we thought, might be the culprit on that. And we're both thinking along the lines of maybe the numbers are just down. Just the number, the pure numbers of steelhead out there in the lakes and the rivers. We think the numbers are down because we're talking about over the years being out steelhead fishing offshore, looking for temperature. In the past, you could, if you found a good temp break offshore and you ran out there, you'd be into the steelhead. And for the last couple of years, that just hasn't happened. So that really tells us that the numbers are down, which is unfortunate. So river fishing has been pretty darn tough. But on the other hand, Lake Michigan is really starting to take off. Good reports of a few browns showing up. Really good reports of Lakers. I knew Lakers would be in there. They're always there this time of the year. They're in there tight, looking for bait, looking for the warm water. Lakers are coming in. A few steelhead, not many showing up around the pier heads. And a few coho being thrown in the mix as well. So if it was me, and I know we've covered this already in last week's video, but yeah, I'd still be out there in that 12 to 25 foot range, trolling the shorelines, working those sandbars, long lines, spoons, stick baits, husky jerks, flat lines, 2 colors, 3 colors, 4 colors, 5 colors, divers down with the double chrome and spinning glows or whirly gigs on there. That's where I'd be right now, working those shorelines. Look for the warmer water like I talked about before. Look for that 2 to 3 degree difference. That's where you're going to find the fish. That's what they're looking for too. So, and don't forget, if you find a patch of warmer water, drive through it, spin around, come back the opposite way in a little bit deeper water. See if you find them out there as well. And then just get yourself a nice washing machine pattern or a toilet flushing pattern. Just keep going around and around. You'll find the fish. Pier fishing's been decent. Again, a few lake trout showing up, a few cohos showing up. Sounds like just floating spawn off the bottom has been the best. Maybe a few small spoons have been hitting some fish, but mostly floating spawn has been the better thing. Not a whole lot of perch going on right now, which is unfortunate. We never really had the big perch push at the end of the year like we have in the past. That's disappointing. I know some people went out and they got them, but it was more the abnormality. Those people going out and finding perch. It was never like every boat that went out there was just nailing them. So it's unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. It's just fishing. What else do we got around here? Really, that's about it. I know we got bass season right around the corner. We got Lake Erie is starting to blow up over there. I know Dakota Joe, you sent me an email today. You've been over there the last couple of days. Sounds like you guys got a couple of them, but a couple other people I've talked to over on the east side saying that the walleye is really starting to pick up. And if I'm lucky and I have the time, I'm going to head over there, in a couple weeks or so, hook up with a good friend of mine, Greg Golub, who designed this site. We're going to go out, we're do a little walleye fishing, get a bunch of that on video. Greg is he's a fishing master. Honestly, he's a great guy. Knows more about fishing, honestly, probably than me and 10 other people put together. But I'll be happy to go over there. We'll go over a bunch of tips and tactics. Hopefully, help out some people that might be going over there for walleye as well. So I'm looking forward to that. If I got the time, I'm going to do it. That's what I'm looking for. A little bit of time every now and then. Bruce McFadden, does Tangle Tackle carry the special mate boxes? That part of the website isn't populated yet. Yeah, I think we do have. I know we do. Yeah, I see one in stock right now, Bruce. But we do get those in during the summer. Yep, and we're busy starting to try to. Well, we are starting to load a lot of those pages up. So hopefully that'll be soon. All right, almost tournament season, Phil. Yeah. Phil Quinn, you're absolutely right. Almost tournament season. I'm looking forward to that as well. All right, let's move on to optimizing your 6-rod spread for Great Lakes fishing. And this is a great topic. I'm being honest here when I say during the week, this is the most popular email or text or whatever that I get. Hey, I'm just getting it. I get an email or a text. Hey, just getting into Lake Michigan fishing. If you were me and you could only fish 6 rods, what would you do? And I've taken my time and I've replied to every one of those emails that I get. I don't mind it at all. But I thought it'd be a good idea maybe just to go ahead and put a video out on this. So when I do get those emails in the future, I can just direct them to the video. And seems to work pretty good that way. But anyways, optimizing a 6-rod spread. So really, we're talking small boats here. We're talking maybe 2 guys in a boat, maybe 3 guys in a boat. Smaller boats, just getting into Lake Michigan fishing, figuring out how to run your spread, figuring out how to run your downriggers, figuring out how to run your divers, your long lines, your coppers, your course, things like that. And that's really where every one of us started. That's where I started. And you can catch, you'll be just fine out there in a small boat running 6 rods. Obviously, on the bigger boats, we run a lot more rods, a lot more. Yeah, you have a lot more tangles that way too sometimes, but there's nothing wrong with running a 6-rod spread because when you learn that 6-rod spread, that's just a building block. You get that 6-rod spread down, then you're stepping up to an 8-rod spread, and then a 9, and then a 12, and then a 13, and a 15. It's just a starting point for your start or for your fascination into this fishing world. But here's the way most boats run for a 6-rod spread: 2 riggers, 2 divers, and 2 long lines. That's really the way I started off. So we'll talk about that a little bit. So 2 riggers, 2 downriggers. First off, let me say this. Downriggers are not like they were back in the 80s and the 90s when the lake was a little bit more cloudy, when it was the downrigger seasons were just phenomenal. You couldn't have enough downriggers on the boat back then because they were the highest producing thing on the boat. As the water has cleared up out there in Lake Michigan, they've actually become most of the time the least producing thing on the boat, but they're still a great tool, absolutely a great tool. So 2 downriggers, I will almost always endorse that, having that on a small boat, because you never know the days that they're really going to work. Let me say this about riggers though: if you're going to get riggers, and most people start off with the hand cranks, and I did too way back when, within 2 years on a hand crank downrigger, you're going to want electric. I can tell you that right now. Everybody does. And then you got to take the time to sell your old hand cranks, which nobody really wants, just being honest, and then getting your new electrics. If you have the money, you have the means to start off with electric riggers, I highly recommend that. All right, just saying that. 2 divers, all right, 2 divers. Now, for my divers, most of the time, I'm running high divers and low divers. My low divers normally take the bigger fish, but my high divers normally take more fish. So if I was only going to run 2 divers, I'd run 2 high divers. And I highly recommend the Dreamweaver size 107 deeper divers for my high divers. Setting number 3, put them out there, flash or fly, flash or meat rig. That is the way, if I was just going to run 2 divers, that's the way I would go, both on high divers. And 2 long lines. So I know I'm going to get this question right now. What long lines should I be running? Well, of course, I don't know everybody's area. I don't know where everybody fishes, and I know everybody's depths are different. But you can never go wrong with a 5-color lead core and a 10-color lead core. Or if you wanted to go copper, my 2 best coppers are always a 200 copper and a 300 copper. The 300 copper is normally better than my 200 copper, but those are by far my two best coppers. All right, so that's just one variation of a 6-rod spread. We're talking 2 downriggers, 2 divers, I would make them high divers, and 2 long lines, or a 5 color and 10 color, or a 200 copper and a 300 copper, or a mix of one of those two together. All right. Riggers. So one thing I'll always say about riggers, I always have this on one of my downriggers because I think it brings fish into the spread. Run a big paddle. Run a big paddle with a fly on it, because even if you're not catching anything on that big paddle, and I normally make that my deepest presentation, even if you're not catching anything on that big paddle with a fly, you're bringing fish into your spread. They're going to notice that. They're going to feel that in their lateral lines. They're going to notice it with their eyesight. They're going to feel that. They're going to come to it. They're going to come into your spread. And even if they take a look at it and they bolt off to the sides, then they're going to see your other presentations on your divers and on your long lines. So you're bringing fish into your spread. The other downrigger, your choice. Spoons, flasher fly, meat rigs, plugs, really whatever's working. But on one of those riggers, I almost would always use a big paddle and a fly. For my divers, I'm almost always running flasher fly or meat rig. You can run spoons off them. A lot of guys do, and it's good success. But for most part with me, my divers are almost always flasher fly. And my long lines, same thing. You can run anything you want on them, just depends on the time of the year. Deeper into the season, I'm running a lot more plugs on my long lines. Early in the season, I'm running a lot of super slims, a lot of spoons, a lot of moonshines. Into June, July, I'm starting to put some flashers on there as well. And like I said, deeper into the season, I'm starting to run a lot of plugs on those things. All right, so that's one variation on 6-rod spread. Second variation, and there's a million different variations, but these are the 3 I think are probably the most optimizing. Second variation, 2 divers again, low over high, whichever way you want to go. Again, I would suggest going high divers on those. And then 4 long lines. Forget the riggers altogether. Leave them off the boat, or if you don't have them, you can go 4 long lines instead. So you got 2 divers, and then you got 4 long lines. And again, I would recommend a 5 color and a 10 color on one side, and a 200 copper and a 300 copper on the other side. Again, utilizing all those baits that I just talked about with the other 6-rod spread. So if you have downriggers on the boat and they're just not firing, and you want to go to this kind of spread, 2 divers, 4 long lines, check with your state laws. But it's not a bad idea to put a dummy blade down on one of those downriggers. Just put a big paddle down there with no fly on it, so you're not fishing that line. It's just an attractor. Check with, like I said, check with your laws. Make sure that make sure that that's allowed. But there's nothing wrong with just putting a dummy blade down there on one of your downriggers, down a little bit deeper. It's going to again draw those fish into your spread. They're going to come in, look at that thing, and then as they peel off to the sides, as your boat goes past, they're going to see your other presentations, and hopefully you're going to get bit. So that's the second variation. Again, 2 divers and then 4 long lines. And the third variation is 1 downrigger. And again, if it was me, I'd go with a big paddle on there with a fly or even a meat rig. And then 2 divers. Again, I'd go high divers. And then 3 long lines. So you could go a 5 color, 10 color on one side, and a 200, 300 copper, or a 200 or a 300 copper on the other side. That would give you your 6-rod spread. And again, I would utilize all those baits and techniques that I just talked about just a few minutes ago. What else did I want to say in this? Oh, don't forget, you can maximize your potential on your downriggers by running sliders and fixed sliders. If you don't know what a fixed slider is or a slider is, we have videos on this channel. It's just a bonus bait that you're going to get out there in the spread, and they do take fish. Another thing I want to mention, don't forget this. I think this is something I screwed up on for years. And this is how I learn things. I learn things by screwing them up. Once that king bite is over in the morning, once that little flurry is gone, don't forget to drop something down deep, usually on a downrigger or maybe a low diver. Drop something down there for trout, because the population of lake trout in Lake Michigan, Lake Ontario, really everywhere is through the roof right now. It's a great way to put a few extra 2 or 3 or more fish in the boat for your day. So drop that downrigger down. You don't even have to get it down on the bottom. Just get it down deep into that thermocline. Again, a double chrome with a spin dot or with a whirly gig or a spin and glow. Hey, that is a great thing to have down there for trout. If you're going to drop it down to the bottom, though, if you're going to bounce off the bottom, just remember, don't do it on the downrigger that's got the probe on it. Don't do that. And that's something else I should have mentioned. I think I saw that coming in the comments. if you're not going to run a downrigger, if you're not, of course, you're going to lose that. You're going to lose the ability to run that fish hawk. If you don't have a fish hawk, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a lot of videos out on that, but I'll talk about that more here in a sec. If you're not going to run a downrigger, you're going to lose the ability to run a fish hawk. You're going to have to learn to watch your divers, how they pull, and your boards on how they pull also. So that's just one bad thing about not running a downrigger. Excuse me. So really, that sums it up for 6-rod spread optimization. I mean, guys, I know that's just a general overview. I could go through the shop right now and I could show you a million baits and a million different things, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to change. If I point at this spoon and I go, that's the spoon you got to run, by the time you run it next weekend, it's probably not going to be the spoon you want to run. But if you want, I can walk you around the shop here a little bit. I can show you some of the downrigger rods, some of the reels that we have here also that I would recommend for those setups, and some of the baits. So if that's something you want, just throw a comment in here real quick. I'll look for it, and we can do that. Otherwise, we're already a half hour into this thing. We can get out of here. Oh, so yeah, forget about it fishing. So let me go over copper and core a little bit. Give you an idea on the depth charts on copper and core. It's pretty easy to remember. This is the way I remember anyway, and it gets you pretty darn close. For Leadcore, you got to think every 10 feet for every color of core that you let out, it's going to get you about a 5-foot depth. About 5-foot depth. So if you let out 5 colors of Leadcore, it's going to get you roughly 25 feet deep. If you let out 10 colors, it's going to get you roughly 50 feet deep. Now, of course, that is all speed dependent. If you're flying through the water, you're going to lose depth. If you're going slower, it's going to get a little bit deeper. So that's something to keep in mind. For copper, you know, I've seen such a huge debate on 45-pound copper versus 32-pound copper, and all that means is just the diameter of the copper. It doesn't mean much more than that. The 45-pound copper weighs more than the 32-pound copper because it's bigger. You're going to get more depth. Whichever way you go with your copper, just make it all the same. Make sure you make all your presentations the same, so you get an idea in your head where all of those are going to be running. I fish all 45-pound copper on my boat. On the tournament boat, on Jim's boat, we run all 45-pound. Most of the other boats that I know around here also run all 45-pound. For 45-pound copper, you're going to get, for every 100 feet of copper that you let out, you're going to get roughly 20 feet of depth. So if you're running a 100-foot copper, you're going to get roughly 20 feet. 200 copper, roughly 40 feet. 300 copper, roughly 60 feet. And again, that goes completely speed variable. If you're going really fast, it's going to be shallower. If you're going slow, it's going to be deeper. All right, so I wanted to give you that little overview on the Leadcore and the copper, you know, really where they run. So it gives you an idea when you go out and you when you do your setups and go fishing your area, it gives you an idea of where those things are going to be working for you. So, hey, if you're listening to this and you go, well, hey, I don't fish anything deeper than 40 feet, you know, obviously a 10 color and a 300 copper and a 200 copper, they're not going to be for you. It's going to be something else. So I want you to have that information. Bob Hunter, you're absolutely right. Core and copper are very speed sensitive. Very speed sensitive. I'll give you another little tip on something that I figured out over the years. This is something, again, I learned this the hard way because I screwed it up for a number of years. When I'm first out on the water in the morning, like first setting up, first getting going, first rods and reels are going in, I keep my speed up a little bit. I keep my speed up to 2.5, maybe even 2.6, somewhere in that range. Because the fish in the morning, they really got the feed bag on, they can be super aggressive. You know, they're fighting other fish for the food. So they're looking for something going through that water quick. They're going to want to attack it quickly. As the bite wears off in the morning, as the sun comes up and the fish start scattering, going deeper, going to the bottom, that's when I bring my speed down. That's when I bring it down to 2.0, 2.1, somewhere in that range. So that's a little tip I'll give you on there. A great way to maybe get a few more bites in the morning. Just bump your speed up a little bit. All right? Cool. Does micro lead go deeper? Yeah, it does, Jason C. It does run slightly deeper. But really, I still keep that same depth chart in my head. Same depth chart in my head. And all I use, Jason, is micro lead. That's all I use. But it doesn't mean that the normal 27-pound standard lead doesn't work. Bob Hunter, it's all about duplication. Yeah, you get a fish on a 300 copper, duplicate it. You get a fish on a downrigger with a certain lead back off your downrigger bow, absolutely duplicate it. Duplicate the colors. Yep. High divers, Tony Long. So yeah, high divers are 100. I run the Dreamweavers. That's 107 millimeter. That's what I run for my high diver. For my low divers, I run the Dreamweaver 124 millimeter. So the low divers are bigger. Slide divers, Kirksey. So the biggest time I run slide divers, I've said this before, is when I'm in the shallow waters. When I want a stealthier presentation or the fish are up really shallow. If I'm out in deep water fishing offshore and the fish are up shallow, I'll use slide divers. Then, of course, it's just a really good stealthy presentation. When I'm just normal, normal salmon fishing, trout fishing, I go back to my standard Dreamweaver deeper divers. Now, I do know there's some people out there, all they run all year long is slide divers. They'll use the oversized rings and the oversized weights, and they do work for them, but I am a keep it simple, stupid kind of guy, and these things have worked for me for so long, and they put so many fish in the boat. If it ain't broke, I ain't gonna fix it, okay? So that's just my take on that. But if you're a slide diver guy and that's all you run, hey, I completely respect that, and there is a great art to it. All right, so let's take a look around the shop. Let's look at some rods and reels and whatnot. I'm seeing some questions come in here. What rods do you use? So let's just answer that question. We'll go for a little walk. Hope everybody's ready. We'll go for a little cruise. All right. We'll head back here to the rod and reel section. It's a little loud back here because we got the minnow tank running. But right here is a great example of a downrigger rod. This is the Akuma Convector Pro. Oh my gosh, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold it upside down. It's a Akuma Convector Pro, and they even say right on it, downrigger rod. These are 8'6" rods, which most downrigger rods, that's the typical length for them, 8'6". But what you really want to look for in a downrigger rod is you want a really good fast tip on that thing. This thing is super, super fast. I'm just whippy as heck because the only thing that's connecting you to that fish is this rod. So as soon as that fish trips that downrigger, it's just you and him, and he's going to be angry. So you want a really good fast tip on there when that king gets to the back of the boat. And, when that fish gets to the back of the boat, that's what you want. Just a really good fast tip. Let's see make sure I got good Wi-Fi back here. Everybody still there? All right, I hope you are. Hoping the Wi-Fi is okay back here. So Dipsy Diver, just a good example of a good Dipsy Diver rod. Something that's not gonna break the bank. I gotta hold these upside down, I apologize, but it's the way I gotta do it. This is the Akuma Classic Pro GLT, that stands for Great Lakes Trolling. Dipsy Diver. If you're gonna run high divers, run them on 10-foot or 10'6" rods. This one, for example, is a 9-footer, so this would be more of a low diver. But 10-foot rods for your high divers. And these are much more stout. These are almost like telephone poles when it comes to flexibility. A rod like this ain't gonna break you either. The price on this thing is $36.29. Not a bad price. Of course, you can go up in price if you want a better quality rod. There's a lot of good ones out there, but you don't have to break the bank on them. So for reels, that one right there, the Akuma Convector 45D is a great downrigger or a diver reel. That thing will serve you very well. The 45DS is a high-speed version of the 45D. It's a great reel. If you want a high speed, you can go the DS. I would stay away from the high speed though on divers. That's just one little thing I'll tell you. When you get to your long lines, the 45L or the 45LS for your shorter coppers and cores, and then for your longer coppers and cores, I would recommend the 55L or the 55LS. I don't see any LSs in stock right now. Okay. that just gives you a little idea on some rods and reels that you can look for. If you go in the shop, or if you go on the website here for the shop, of course you're going to see a lot of those things. It's pretty easy to navigate. You'll find what you want pretty darn easily. All right, what else you guys want to see around the shop? Anything? I got you on a field trip now. So here, actually, I can show you these. These are the new spoons from Dreamweaver. These are already sold, these carbons. I know they're already sold, but they're still on the shelf. That's the new Super Slim Carbon. That thing is a nice looking spoon. And that is the new Dreamweaver A-Bomb. Nice looking spoon. Both of these, I think they're both Super Glows too, aren't they? Yep, they're both Super Glow series too. So that's a nice little feature there. What's the story on the Jeep truck? You know, that's a good question. That is the owner's. And of course, in a fishing shop, you might as well just go ahead and have a Jeep in your shop, right? So he's been working on this thing for a while now, as you can tell. I think it's more of a garbage collector right now than it is an actual truck. But it's getting there. But this thing's going to be going outside to the barn here pretty darn soon. Good question though, man. Good spot on that. When will we have the A-Bomb on the website? That should be within a couple of days, I would think. Let me get you back on my stand here. Hold on a sec. Hold on. There we go. There, we're back. Thanks for going with me on the field trip. All right, we got 202 people. That might be the new record for number of people on the live stream. All right. What else we got coming in here? Gold Orange Crush NK spoons. Not sure what you mean by NK. How much are the license plate salmon? Hey, good spot on that. Let me grab one of those. I think they're $50. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I really like these things. In fact, I'm going to want to pick one of these up myself. These things are really cool. I think they're $50. They're handmade right by a guy right here in town. A lot of different license plates from a lot of different states on these things. But yeah, the back is it's got the burnt on the back, and then the license plates on the front. I think these things are really cool. I'm going to have to grab one of these days. Oh, Northern King spoons. Gotcha. I don't fish a lot of Northern King spoons, guys, so I really couldn't tell you. What is a whirligig? Eric Brow. Whirligig is it's a product from Dreamweaver. Let me see if I have one. No. Now we're out of stock on them right now. A whirligig is a product from Dreamweaver. It's just it works just like a spin and glow. Like the Yakima spin and glows. Great lake trout takers. Great lake trout takers. Hector Prevost talked about snubber for cannonballs. Do I have any? I have one at home, and I was going to bring it tonight, so that's on me. I forgot to bring it, but yes, I highly recommend running snubbers on cannonballs. Dreamweaver makes something called a dead set release, which is specifically made for that snubber for a cannonball. It will save your bacon a time or two. In the past, I've said this before, fishing my buddy Jim's boat, I brought a cannonball up too quick, double snapped the switch, snapped that thing right off there, and watched a 20-pound cannonball and a probe spiral its way down to the bottom of the lake. So I promptly walked across the road when we got back, bought him a new probe and a new cannonball, and that's $300 out of my pocket that I'll never get back. But my fault. I lost it. I owed it. All right. Yeah, downrigger snub. Definitely recommend it. Does the shop have anything for boxes for lighting up spoons? No, Travis, we don't. But if you want to make your own, there's a video right here on this channel. I think it's called Super Glow Your Spoon or Supercharge Your Spoons. Really easy to make and really inexpensive. Braid versus steel cable on downrigger. That's something we've talked about in the past, Rick. It depends on the boat. Some boats, their downriggers just absolutely catch fish all day long, no matter if it's steel wire or braid. On Jim's tournament boat, his striper, we were struggling with our downriggers for a while. We both noticed our downrigger bite just went down, and I put the voltmeter on the boat, stuck it in the water, and we had a slight discharge of voltage coming off the downriggers. Whether or not that it was affecting it, we didn't know, but we switched to Power Pro, and our downriggers took back off again. So was there something there to it? Yeah, I think there was. Did that fix the problem? Maybe. Maybe it was all just a timing thing. I don't know. But for peace of mind, we're glad that we did that. Benjamin Horman, do I mix my flat lines with Leadcore? Yeah, I do, absolutely. As long as you got your shallowest running lines on the furthest outside boards, you're good to go. Yep, you're going to be fine. You can mix those in. 215 people watching. Now, that is so cool. That was so cool. Scotty releases, Tim. Yep, uses them. I use those dead set releases are my favorite. They have a blacks release set into them, so you can adjust the tension. I run my downrigger. I run my downrigger rods really, really tight. When I watch other videos on Lake Michigan fishing, and I see downrigger rods way up in the air, I mean, it gives me anxiety. But that's just me, and I'm not knocking anybody. But I screw my downrigger rods super. I mean, I've got them down super tight, so I can use those blacks releases on those dead set releases to really adjust my tension. I like that fish. As soon as that thing releases, there's instant tension on that rod. Yeah, Tim. Yeah, crank them right down. That's the way I do it, and that's the way I learned to do it. Cool. How long should a planer board rod be? You know what? Let me go grab one. That's a good question. You guys and gals got me running all over the shop. This thing right here, I think, is the ultimate planer board rod. For the reason being, it's cheap and it works. This is the Akuma Classic Pro GLT copper Leadcore rod. This thing right here is 8'6". It's medium heavy, and I think they are just a couple dollars under 50 bucks here in the shop. Really good rod for a cheap price. These, all I have on my boat for my coppers and my Leadcore are these rods right here. Absolutely love them. I will endorse them all day long. I'm not pro staff for Akuma. I'd love to be. Akuma, if you're watching, give me a call. But I'm not pro staff for Akuma, but I will endorse those rods all day long. Those Akuma are copper Leadcore rods and the Akuma Convector Pro diver rods. Man, I love those things. Love them. All right, so we got 200 people watching. I got 98 thumbs up. That is really cool. That is really cool. Let's see if we can get to 300 thumbs up before next Sunday on this video. If we can get to 300, I would love that. If we get to 300, maybe I'll throw a couple spoons at something. We'll do a giveaway or something. That'd be really cool. If we get to 400, maybe I'll do a giveaway for a couple of people. But let's do something like that. All right. We're starting to wind down here. I mean, we're 50 minutes into this thing. This is one of the longer ones I've done. I hope everybody got something out of that 6-rod optimization little thing that I did there. There's a lot more to it than that. I mean, I'm just scratching the tip of the iceberg on that, what I talked about tonight. But it should give you a good idea on how to optimize that 6-rod spread. Hopefully there's some things in there that you'll take away. Put it in your fishing toolbox and be able to use it. Look at all the thumbs up coming in. You guys are the best. I appreciate that, everyone. All right, let's wind her down, though. Yeah, First Fish Nick. Yeah, we are opening up shipping to Canada. Yes, we are. Yeah, you can order now. If you're in Canada, you can order now. We'll be happy to get things up to you. Copper lead core, is that available in roller guides? Jeremy, you don't need roller rods for your copper and lead core. These stainless steel guides on these things will handle it just fine. You don't need to use roller rods, okay? Sweet. All right, everybody. Thanks again for being here. Next week, we'll be going over the Potski brining of the egg and skein and everything else, and we'll go over that and give you guys a real good idea. If you know, I've tied spawn before, but I am looking forward to next Sunday because I always learn something from these guys that do the river stuff for a living. Those river guys, they have it down to a science. And I love having people like that around and learning from them. So I'm really looking forward to next Sunday when we go over this Potski stuff. Learn stuff myself. That's what it's all about. All right, cool. Let's get out of here. Scott, Leroy, thanks again for being here and helping out. To everybody that I'm seeing on here, thank you so much for being here. You guys are all the best. For the super chatters, I had the one earlier for $2. I forget who that was now, and I apologize, but thank you so much for the super chat. That is a really cool thing to do. Let's get out of here. Be safe, everybody. I'll see you all next Sunday, 7 o'clock.